can turn into an absolute disaster. If you don't have the right people around you.
You can't do it all yourself. Even if you can do every single little task yourself, you're never going to get to your goal because it's just not possible.
Or you will, and you'll lose the family side.
Just constantly work. And that's what I was doing. I think when you're looking at going into business with someone, you need to get somebody who's different to you, not the same. And you need to fill the blanks because you can't do everything yourself. I was pregnant with my second child.
Start a business and start a family. Know that very well.
I remember doing open homes about 2 days after I was out of hospital from a C-section, and my mum's sitting in the car with a newborn and I'm showing people through this townhouse, and I wanted to do it all myself, and I ended up selling the business because it just wasn't possible. Personally, I could never do it alone again because
so everyone says never to go into business with a partner. It's the fastest way to wreck a business and a relationship. And honestly, we both agree, because before this, we'd each had gone wrong in other business partnerships. So can two people actually run a business together successfully, or is a partnership always a slow motion falling out waiting to happen? Don't answer it. But this is my business partner, Rachel. We've been in business for 2 years now, but we've known each other for almost a decade before we even started running a business together. And before this, we ran our own businesses separately. We had experience running a company separately. But how did Affinity Res actually come about, slotting into the build and development ecosystem from your perspective?
From my perspective?
Yeah, 'cause I'm always curious.
So obviously coming and working with you in Kai Construct, and that was created as something completely different to what has obviously ended up happening now. So I noticed in the construction industry and the model and the way that you guys were working at the time when I was in it was there's no money in it.
Yeah, no money compared to real estate versus effort versus reward.
Yeah.
I think you said to me at that point, because we were building unicorns one-off.
Yes.
3-year builds.
I mean, amazing, beautiful properties.
Yeah. But it's like you have all that effort for that much money return.
Yeah.
And that's just the building industry.
Yeah.
Overall. And being your background in real estate, like, why?
It was crazy to me that you can be creating these, whenever you see these amazing, beautiful houses getting built and you look at the builders who are building, and then you're like, wow, like they must be making heaps of money. So seeing it from the other side, I was like, wow, this is very different. And obviously knowing where you wanted to take your business and into, property developments and everything in future, I didn't feel that a construction company was the vehicle to get you there.
On its own.
So I put my 2 cents in and said, hey, maybe we should start a real estate.
And the rest is history.
And there we go. Yeah.
But I think what most people don't know, because when people say to me, it's like, oh, why do you have a property management company? I'm like, well, I don't actually run it with my business partner. They're like, what's that like?
Yeah.
And I'm like, what a strange question to ask. But then when you ask around, it's like every business partnership just turns to a failure or a train wreck that you just can't look away from. And it's going in one direction, but it doesn't look successful. And then some businesses, they do a really good job of having a good equal partnership around that. I want to really dive into that because I think for business owners, the foundation of growing a good business sometimes isn't growing something on your own.
Yeah.
And what most people don't know is that we both have had businesses and partnerships go wrong before this. So take me to yours before Affinity Res, and I'm happy to share mine. Like, what actually happened before?
Yeah, so there's a lot to learn. Hindsight is a wonderful thing. So I've been in real estate for 23 years, and I was working in agencies and then also training the licensing courses in Queensland as a contract trainer for a period of time. And I was in a lot of agencies doing training, and obviously being in the industry for such a long time, you see how things are run and you think to yourself, I could do this much better.
Oh my goodness. Like, that's everyone business owners.
I was like, okay, well, I'll start it myself. But obviously starting from absolutely nothing, I have never been interested in doing sales. I've always loved property management. At the time, I had kind of like a mentor who I had worked with in corporate before. And he said, oh, well, I put together a business plan and then I approached him because I needed some capital to start it. And so we went 50-50, and it sounds so silly at the time because it was like 10 grand each that we needed to start this business, right? So he was in New South Wales, I was in Queensland. He was supposed to build a rent roll in New South Wales and I build the rent roll up in Queensland. Anyway, so...
Is this the first business that you started, by the way? Like your
Yes.
your first crack?
My very first like real estate business that I went on my own. So basically I did my part and he didn't. I actually got him one listing in New South Wales.
Yeah.
I got it.
Yeah.
Anyway, long story short, it got to a point where I was like, I'm doing all this work and I'm building this amazing business and it's going to get really big and I'm going to start making money, and he's not bringing anything to the party. So I approached him and said my piece. As you know, I'm pretty honest.
Straight down the line.
Straight down the line.
Yeah.
And the reaction that I got was not what I was expecting, because we had a really good relationship. We were friends. Like, he knew my family, I knew his family. Like, on a personal level, we were fine. So I was expecting him to be a little bit more gracious and agree about the playing field. But that's obviously not what happened. And I ended up having to pay him a significant amount of money, which I'm still paying off today, to get out of the business. But I needed to draw the line in the sand, and I needed, because I knew where I wanted to take it and how many managements I wanted to grow it to. And at that point, it was worth paying him the money. And then I changed the name of the business and kept on my merry way.
And the rest is history.
Not bitter at all. No.
No, but I think
I'm
it's
over it now. Yeah.
I think it's like, and thanks for being open with it, because most people don't talk about that stuff.
Yeah.
And I think people go into business thinking it's all rosy. And if you don't have the right people around you, it can turn into an absolute disaster.
Yeah.
And suck up time and capital.
Yeah.
And I've experienced, I'll share my one actually. So my experience around that was as an apprentice. As an apprentice carpenter, I had a friend, very similar scenario. And there was this really good deal. It was an old Queenslander. It was like, back in the day, I think it was like 284,000. It was like fully dilapidated. I'm like, we can renovate this together. We'll get some capital. We borrowed some capital off his parents. We both said, yeah, we'll renovate this together. We'll project manage. We'll do it like at nights and weekends and all the rest of it. No structure, no idea, no plan, no nothing. Obviously, it ended the way it ended. It blew up in our faces on the fact that no money was being managed properly. We didn't have defined roles. I ended up working all the time and he was off doing his thing.
Yeah.
And then he just exited and disappeared, and his parents stepped in and obviously got steamrolled.
Yeah.
That cost me a lot of money at that age.
Mm.
And I thought, never again will I ever do anything with anybody. It has to be on my own terms. And I think you would probably feel the same. And then everyone listening to this is like, stuff business partnerships. Like, I'm never going to get into that.
Yeah.
But I think the key from both of our experiences, like, we never run a business.
Yeah.
And the lesson that I've learned from that is, who's about to like thinking about going into business with someone, is one, don't go into business with a friend unless you have very clear boundaries. But two, have you run your own business before and understand what running a business is with all facets and hats around it. Like, what are your thoughts around that?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm trying to think back to when I know we obviously went, like, let's do this and started it, but did we even put together a...
Sort of. So...
Did we do that? I don't remember.
We did.
I think I looked back on the business plan. It was the Empire plan. Yeah. I think. And that looks very different now to what we had originally started it out as. Because in that, I'm pretty sure we sort of defined roles as to who would do what. But that's changed like dramatically. Yeah. Since then. So.
Because we're both impatient and we tend to grow things a lot faster than what the timeline was initially.
Yeah.
But I think like looking back, each of those failures teach you about what you actually need in a business partner before you even start it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure.
And I think like
So like someone that does something.
someone that number one, tick.
And doesn't expect, everything for nothing. Yeah.
So what is different this time and what do we have now that neither of us had then?
Yeah.
Because I wanted to share it as an insight, as a foundation of like building a business with a good business partner, how fast you can build.
Yeah.
With two inputs, if that makes sense. And for context too, for everyone, I've known Rachel for almost 10 years and we met at a business networking group, both had our own separate businesses. And there's certain things that you see from business owners that know how to run a business where they share stories about what they've done. And I remember Rachel shared one very specifically, which was, turning a property round in like, I think it was like 3 or 4 days, and you organised like 12 trades in 2 days and you got it released on. It was like a whole entire restoration of a property, and it sticks to me to this day because I was sitting there as a builder going, I can't organise 12 trades for the life of me in residential construction. What's going on? And like Rachel's a project manager. And so like that always stuck with me. And then from there you'd also then sold a rent roll. You'd gone through all stages of a business. And then a friend of mine, Kim, I was just chatting to her. I'm like, I'm looking for someone to help me grow my business operationally that has more structure than what I do. And she mentioned that you were just like looking for another direction after you sold your business, thinking about what you're going to do. And I hung up on her and I rang you straight away because sometimes I think, as a business owner, there are some key people that you could see yourself working with or know you would work well with because they're rare qualities of having a business owner work in your business and then working with a business owner to create a business rather than maybe two friends who have no business experience.
Yeah.
Or two people have the same skill set and not the others.
Yeah. Well,
anyway,
I think
that's just my perspective.
And that's the point as well, is one of my biggest things, obviously learning from our business partnership that failed and then building that business. I built that rent roll over, I think it was 7 years. And I did it all myself because I had been scarred like from that experience. And so as it got bigger and bigger and bigger, I just kept doing it myself. And the reason I sold it is because it almost broke me, like mentally, emotionally. I managed it through COVID as well. And
you're a mum?
Yeah. Well, when I started my business, I was pregnant with my first child. And when I sold it, I was pregnant with my second child. Nothing like doing everything at once.
Start a business and start a family. Know that very well.
I remember doing open homes about 2 days after I was out of hospital from a C-section, and my mum's sitting in the car with a newborn, and I'm showing people through this townhouse in Labrador. Anyway, but my point is that I wanted to do it all myself, and I ended up selling the business because it just wasn't possible to do that anymore. But I didn't have another option. So I think a lot of businesses end up selling because they might be doing it alone and they just get burnt out and they just can't do it anymore, whether it's family life or the stress of the business or cash flow or whatever it is. It gets to you over a period of time if you are doing it alone.
Yeah.
So I didn't know that at the time, that, maybe if I asked for help, I might have been able to not sell it.
Yeah.
But just because of the past experiences, I was like, no, this is it. I'm done with real estate. 20 years is enough.
Cord.
Let's go do something else. Let's get into construction. Idiot.
Hey, it was pretty good. It was pretty good.
So, yeah, and that's the thing, is that then when we decided to do this, I don't know, I actually didn't have the same fear that I had before, because you have the same, so business partner before, didn't really do anything, but you have the same drive and ambition and goals, even though you're not working physically in AR, and I'm not really working in KK anymore either. But we both know where the businesses need to get to together, but separately, to get to the ultimate goal where we're going. And you're putting in just as much work. I know you are. You're a perfectionist in what you do, and I'm the same. And I have high expectations on myself and my team, things have to be done a certain way perfectly, and you're the same. And so you don't need to, I don't know, I think having, even though they're completely different businesses, but it's the same goal, completely different people, you are no good at what I am good at, and vice versa.
Yeah, and I would say that's probably one of the key important things around that.
Yeah. So I think when you're looking at going into business with someone, you need to get somebody who's different to you.
Yeah.
Not the same. And you need to fill the blanks because you can't do everything yourself.
Yeah.
Like, it's impossible, especially if you want to grow and expand your business, then you need to learn to let go, which is a big thing for me as well. Yeah. Even with my team, I have to learn to just let go because I know I can't do it. And I've learned that as well from the previous business. So
to touch on that point too, I actually enjoy building team.
Yes.
And I enjoy
You're very good at
finding
that.
solutions around it.
Yeah.
And so in both businesses, we have really good team.
Yeah.
In both businesses though, we also have really good structure, which is not my strong point.
Yeah.
Ironically, being a builder, it's a set and forget process, but running business in a structure where you can actually forecast ahead and forecast your goals and keep it on time is really important. And the one thing that clearly works, I think, in any business partnership, and what I think we have, is clear lanes on who owns which call.
Yes.
And why does that matter for any business partnership, do you think, with current experience?
Well, whenever I want to make a business decision in AR or you with KK, we normally talk about it over sushi.
Yeah.
I think having a thing that you do is important, but I run everything past you.
Yes.
And I think you said it the other day, it's constructive feedback but no judgment. When I make a decision, it's just good to be able to have someone to soundboard off it, because you, even though you don't work in real estate, you'll come up with things that I hadn't thought about, or you'll be looking at it in a different way, but it's still my call.
Yeah.
Like, so I mean, I've given you feedback before and you've done the complete opposite, which is fine. And I'll back you anyway.
And that's the thing.
Like,
I think in any business relationship,
you talk about, well, this is what could happen. These are the pros and cons. This is how much it's going to cost. This is how much we might gain, or whatever the thing is. And then you make the decision, backfires. Oh, well. And I'll just say, told you so. And then we move on.
So it's a funny joke that Rachel is very rarely wrong because she works on data, not emotional positivity, which is sometimes you need that in construction, just being honest.
Yeah.
But I think with that, it's like you need a business partner, I've learned over the years, that lets you own a decision, even if you make it differently.
Yeah.
And I have seen business partnerships where it starts off like that, but there is no resentment comes in over time.
Yeah.
Because it's not communicated a voice of like, this is how I'm feeling around this.
Yeah. Well, I think that's why it's important to have the discussion first, because we'll talk it out. I'll give my opinion, vice versa. And we just both say this is what could happen, and you just get comfortable with
being uncomfortable. What was the worst case situation?
Yeah. And so then if that happens, there isn't any resentment, because it's like, well, we spoke about it and we both came to the decision that we're okay if that happens. And hopefully it doesn't, but if it does, even if it's your decision, in that moment when we spoke to each other, decided to support you in it. So it becomes my decision as well, even if I don't necessarily think it's the right way.
Are you just saying that you agree with me? I'll take that as a yes. But let's unpack the opposites component. So I like the structure of like, well, how can you increase the likelihood that your business partnership is actually going to operate in a way that, one, grows the business, two, supports your business partner, but then three, actually, how do you create time? Like, what are some things that you've observed that we inherently do, or that other business partnerships that you've seen do, that work well to create space for that partnership? Because it's like two business owners trying to steer it in the right direction. It's like 10-pin bowling when there's bumpers and there's one business owner here and one business owner here, and you're trying to just knock the ball down the lane.
That's a good analogy. I like that.
Yeah.
Bowling.
Bowling. And it's fun, you know.
Hopefully you get a strike at the end. Well, there's things, well, like you said before, I'm very data driven and structure.
Very.
So things that I have that I observed in construction was obviously cash flow, and I introduced you to Excel spreadsheets, which have
Blew my mind.
changed the way that you've managed operationally the business as well.
Yeah.
And I can't ever see you having had sit down creating a spreadsheet, the Oracle that we call it.
Yes, the Oracle. We've all seen Oracle. No, not at all.
And then, so that has, I think, given us, and especially you, a lot of headspace in construction, because you can now see the future of the cash flow of the business. Am I right?
Yeah, 100%.
Does that
like
help you?
Yeah, 100% it does, because from a building perspective, most builders are creative.
Yeah.
Like, we like building things and we ignore the hard things, which is numbers, forecasting, the reality of construction, etc. And I think Kai Construct, the first 5 years was just like push, push, push. The next 2 years was, all right, we found our niche, we build it. But then it's like what you got to in your property management business when you were growing this huge rent roll, and it was just you, and I was still building on site, and then we got team and
I think team is really important.
And then team is really important.
Yeah.
I think the unlock for a construction business that operates really well is to have a data-driven team.
Yeah.
And my focus has shifted, learning from you and learning from my brother, who's very process-driven. Hates uncertainty. Terrible trait to be in, being in construction. He hates uncertainty.
Yeah.
But that is more so on understanding your position.
Yeah.
And that is something that I value in business, because as a business owner, how can you assess risk and how can you make the best decision if you don't understand where you're going? And it sounds really stupid saying this out loud right now, that you don't have, when you're running a 7-figure plus business and you don't have that metric now, there is no way. If you said, I'm taking the spreadsheet, or it never existed and you can't use it anymore, I would freak out.
Yeah.
Because everything is in there. And once you see it, and once you build it, and once you have someone in your business and all the businesses that we're running in that, you would never want to go back from that.
Yeah.
And so the question that I get asked is why are you in business with someone? You should just run it yourself. And I'm like, that's such a handicap now when you can create a good business with a business partner who's completely opposite.
Yeah.
I feel like you're left brain and I'm like right brain.
Yeah.
Creative side of it.
Yeah.
How important is it to know who that person is?
Yeah.
How they are personally and how they operate as a business owner.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts?
I mean, I guess we had already known that from knowing each other for the 9 or so years before I came and started working with you.
But taking this scenario aside, if someone said to you, I'm wanting to start a business and have a business partner involved, what would be some questions that you would say to that person to ask of someone that they want to go into?
I mean, I would say to them, first of all, I think you really need to know someone personally as well, and their family and their goals, not just business goals, but personal goals, because it's like a marriage, right? You have a partner that you're with for your life, but your working life is so much of your life as well. Do you just want to do that alone? And when we were talking yesterday, I was looking up business statistics, right? So
that doesn't surprise me.
437,000 businesses last year started, and 50% of them had shut down and failed in the first 5 years. And some of the key factors of the ones that were successful was team. It wasn't just one-man bands. It was people that had employed others, and partnerships as well. Because you might be sharing the financial burden, the ideas and the strategies, and like you said, being opposites to each other. And they were the ones that were still going after the 5 years. So it's really interesting that it's when you're surrounding yourself with team and other people is when you start to thrive. So I think if you were looking at going into business with someone, finding the opposites to what you need and being really brutal with yourself and honest with yourself as well. What are you good at and what are you not good at? Because, the ego or whatever in people, and myself included, is I can do this all myself. It's fine.
Yeah, that's the innate
everything's
solo
fine.
Entrepreneur. Everything's fine. I'll just do it myself.
So being honest with yourself that you can't do it all yourself. Even if you can do every single little task yourself, you're never going to get to your goal, whatever that is, because it's just not possible.
Or you will, and you'll lose the family side.
Yes, you'll
'Cause the
lose your
business will
personal
suck it
life
up.
because you're just constantly work. And that's what I was doing. I was doing it all myself and I was very successful, but I was dead inside.
Yeah, but you weren't fulfilled. Like, you had all the numbers. You had a very successful business. Like, you shared that with me. I'm like, wow, you built that on your own. That's crazy.
So, like, I know what your and Lauren's, you know, goals are and personal goals and your kids and stuff, and you know what mine are. And it's like, okay, well, how can we build these businesses to create those lives for each other's families? Like, so I think it's really important on that side of things as well, that if you're getting into business with somebody, you're getting into business with their family almost as well.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
Yeah.
Just like understanding what their personal driver goal is for even wanting to start a business.
Yeah.
Like, what's the outcome they're looking for?
Yeah.
And then who are they as a person, personality wise?
Yeah.
And how do they complement the gaps?
Yeah.
In it. Like, I personally hate accounting, and not hate, I dislike. Hate's a very strong word.
Yeah.
I dislike the monotonous detail of doing the things, but I could piece together a deal and build a team, and I'm quite happy doing that.
Yeah.
Whereas vice versa, you love that detail.
Yeah.
And it's a requirement in property management to do that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm also, you know, you're the big ideas man and the dreamer, and I'm the person that's like, oh, you sure we should?
Yeah.
You know.
But it's good.
But yeah.
So what are some key things you think help? So say you've chosen the person who you've chosen the business.
Yeah.
Which is the key thing. It's like, what's your strength? Do you have past experience in it?
Yeah.
2 decades in property management, sort of check. It doesn't go into the ecosystem of where the overall goal is. Yeah, it's a similar industry. You know, they both feed each other. Then, so say someone chooses the business that they want to start with. They know they want a business partner to do it. Whether someone in that space to speed things up where they can add value, or vice versa, because it's either time, equity, or skill set.
Yeah.
Those three main pillars in any business partnership. And they can overlap, like ours overlap in different businesses congruently. But in regards to then, okay, so now you're in business with someone, how do you maintain that business relationship?
Well, I think we're doing pretty well so far. You need to be honest. This sounds like I'm talking about marriage counselling. You need to be honest.
Yeah.
You need to communicate. We have our weekly or fortnightly or every 3 weeks, depending how busy we are, catch-ups at sushi where I'll have my vent about something. You'll be the same. Talk about what's going on. Get feedback. Follow up. And we do things socially outside of work as well.
I was just about to say,
that
there's another
helps
key
to
thing.
like build that sort of trust and relationship with the other person. You have to make time to have just the business talks outside of the team and everything.
Yeah.
Because, you know, you don't know what's going on day to day in AR, and I don't know day to day in KK, but our weekly chats are like, oh, this happened. And it's like, oh, why don't you do this?
Yes, it's more like advisory.
Yeah, yeah.
I think
it's like
it helps
talking to your
too.
financial planner, right? Like you go in for a strategy meeting and you go, okay, this is what you need to do. So it's like that, but obviously on a business level.
Yeah.
And, you know, you've given me great ideas before about the team and building culture and stuff, which I'm not as great at doing that stuff. I mean, I think both businesses have a really good culture, which obviously helps us then to have that time to work on the businesses because we've got a good team that keep things running in the background as well. So,
Well, they're running both. Hopefully, they're running both businesses now
right
because they're both here.
What are your thoughts?
My thoughts are, I like structure.
Yeah.
Like within business, not necessarily the running of the business, which is there now, but I like structure because I like the catch-ups because it's like a strategy session. It's like the meetings that I introduced into Kai Construct like every single morning.
Yeah.
The weekly meetings, the monthly meetings, the daily meetings. I'm not so much in the daily meetings anymore of that business, but you have the same in the huddle. It's like, I think in any business partners need to be able to chat on a regular or routine basis, especially if not both business partners are working in the business.
Yeah.
To talk through things and soundboard.
Yeah.
And then the second thing is like being okay with what decisions the other what the business owner is making. Like if you want to make, for example, a property management call, specifically a property manager, I'm like, use your judgment
Yeah.
because I got no idea.
Yeah.
But if you need help on where you think the risk is for the business as a whole, or what we can do next, or how we can automate something, or how we can put a procedural ops in, I'm down for that.
Yeah.
So I think that is key. Catching up with someone socially.
Yeah.
Both our families know each other well, which is a
Yeah.
huge plus.
Yeah.
And I think that's important in any business relationship, meeting up and making the time as business owners away from your team to discuss sometimes the hard conversations. This team member I'm not sure of, here's my gut feeling on this, what's your position?
Yeah.
And reflecting on that, that's, I think, really powerful for any type of business.
Yeah.
And then, and secondly, like checking in on the goals and the timeline.
Yeah.
One thing that we both have is like we're both very impatient. I think that's every business owner's things. Like I want it done now, but the last 6 months in particular is like going through and enjoying the process of building a business and understanding that some seasons in business is not always growth.
Yes.
Some season is like slowing down, sustaining and building the systems to then be able to go to the next growth stage. And I think back on a couple of things, like we've acquired a few businesses as well. So here's the crazy thing. We started a property management business. We acquired a few businesses during the process, and some of them are really high pressure scenarios where on your own, you're not sure if you're making the right decision.
Yeah.
But then jointly, it's like the pressure is spread across two people.
Yes. Yeah.
I think.
And like I said before, it's just if people would just talk to each other about the decisions they're making, and if you're going to choose to be in business with somebody, then you need to trust and support and back them, even if they make the wrong decision. It's like if your best friend stuffed up something, would you stop being their best friend? You back your best friend even if you know they're wrong. You tell them they're wrong in the background. But from the outset, it's like...
Yeah, it's a united front.
A united front, yeah. So, and I think, you know, I don't know the statistics, but when people just make decisions and they don't consult their business partners, or they're just not doing anything and just sitting back and letting one person do the work, obviously that's when you're going to have a whole bunch of issues. So
yeah, well, resentment starts creeping in.
Yeah, and we would do like yearly, if we're lucky. Well, we have done it yearly or even 6 monthly. Like, okay, so this is where we are now. This is what our goals were 12 months ago, which, oh, look, we're way ahead.
Yeah.
And then go, okay, well, what are we going to do this year? And I think last year our conversation was like, we need to just stop, like you said, and take a moment and nail what we're doing, systems, processes, team, so we can set ourselves up then to accelerate again soon, hopefully.
Yeah, very soon. But I think the key of that conversation was that, and one of my mentors mentioned this to me too, is like go into a business meeting with your business partner or your leadership group if you're not in business with them.
Yeah.
And go, we had an agenda.
Yeah.
And it was like, and everyone wrote their answers separately and then came to the meeting with those answers.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes, like reflecting on the season, is like both of us wanted more time.
Yeah.
Personally.
Yeah.
For routine, fitness, headspace, more time for family, which is why you start businesses, why every business owner starts businesses, and realizing that we needed to start carving out some time.
Yeah.
And the solution from what that was growing team.
Yeah.
And then reflecting on, hey, here's where we thought we were going to be here, and oh, look at that, we're sort of way past it, and then being okay with that.
Yeah.
Because lots of business owners, and I can speak quite candidly for myself, is like we forget how far a business can go and how far you've achieved if you don't reflect back. And sometimes it's...
That is definitely my problem, and you pull me up on that a lot, which is good as well. So if I'm having a bad day, and I'll like call you and I'll be like, oh, this has happened, oh, we've lost this or whatever, I will vent my frustration about, you know, slow growth or going backwards 1 month because people are selling or whatever it might be. And you'll go, well, hang on a second. Remember this, and this is where, and so again, having someone that can pull you up on your own bullshit and say, take a moment to look at where you've been and how far you've come, and what's happening now is temporary. It's another thing you say to me all the time.
Yeah.
It's temporary. It's a temporary problem, temporary issue. And that helps as well realign back. All right. Okay. Yep. This is fine. Everything's fine.
Everything's fine.
And then you go, right, I can keep going. So it kind of gives you that clarity and confidence that you've had a bad day, you've had a bad month. It's a temporary problem. This is how far we've come. We've already smashed all this. Let it go. What are some strategies we can put in place?
And reset and move on.
Reset was the word I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
So, because I'm bad at that. I dwell and I
Yeah, but I think
constantly,
every business owner dwells.
Yeah.
Like
And you focus on the negative and you don't celebrate the wins enough either, which is another thing. So I did that a lot in my previous business because you have a win, but when you've got all this negative stuff as well, you kind of, the wins just seem like they don't mean anything anymore, or they don't mean as much. So when you have someone there going, that's amazing, like, and you're like, oh, yeah, it is.
It's a good like reflection side of it as well.
Yeah. So, but when you don't have somebody doing that, then it's quite easy to get in that cycle of negativity as well.
So I have a question for you then. Is partnership actually right for everyone? From someone who's been in business, first partnership didn't work out.
Yeah.
Built and sold a massive business on your own and then back in business, in a business partnership. Is a partnership actually right for everyone? Or should some people just go it alone?
Personally, I could never do it alone again because I just couldn't do it. I need to have somebody to talk to. I need to have someone to soundboard off. I need to have somebody to celebrate with or not when stuff happens. And I can't do everything myself. And I don't want to anymore. That's the thing. Like I used to just be, I want to do everything myself, but that's changed significantly now because I'm starting to move more towards like the life that I want to have. If I had to just do that all myself again, I'd be like, stuff that.
Not worth it.
Just go work at Coles.
I'll just Uber. So for context, how fast has Affinity Res grown in the last 2 years compared to how long it took you to build that business for 7 years?
So I built about, I think Affinity Res would be maybe about 30 or 40% bigger than my previous agency.
Yeah.
In 2 years, as opposed to 7 years on my own.
With team,
yeah.
And we're sort of like...
We just have our full team now. So it's only been the last, month where we've had like the full team. We started with just me, obviously.
Yeah, which was chaos, by the way.
Yeah. And that's the moment I was like, why did I do this? Oh my God, what have I done?
And I started having
PTSD.
This is your idea, wasn't it?
Yeah. But even then, it was just like, helping me sort out keys.
Yeah. Far out. I'm like, this is property management?
That's another story. But so it's grown significantly and it's going to keep going.
Yeah.
And I couldn't do that by myself.
So back to where we first started then.
Yeah.
We both had one fail. Can you actually work with a business partner successfully? Yes or no?
100%, yes.
And for the owner on the fence about taking one on, what's the thing they need to get right first?
Know the person personally and make sure that they complement what you're bad at and fill the gaps. I think opposites are important.
I agree.
Yeah.
My notes were yes, but only with complementary opposites, ironically. Yeah. Clear lanes and decision rights.
Yeah.
Honesty about money.
Yeah.
And honesty about decisions and a trust deep enough to survive the hard conversations.
Yeah.
And I think being in business with someone is like this next high intense level of a best friend.
Yeah.
You have your friends, you have your best friends, you have a business partner, and then you have your family.
Yeah.
And I think it's very advantageous when you have a good business partnership to be able to create and build things so much faster.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Cool. Anything else you want to add?
No, I don't think so.
So you can have a successful business with a business partner with the right person.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's it.